All right, what is all my fellow stackers? So I have the July monthly top 8 deck list. Keep in mind this is July, not August. So this was before RBT Indy. We had 61 players with Irvin taking it all with Machina Gadget. I think this is the first time like a pure Machina, well not pure because I guess Kevin just won with Quickdraw Machina, but you know like a Machina Gadget focus deck has won our monthly, and it's weird that Hero Frogs. So looking at the meta breakdown, Hero Frogs was the most played deck again for the second time in a row. I'm pretty sure Hero Frog has only been the most played deck twice, and it's interesting that it happened twice in a row in June and July. So yeah, 11 Hero Frog, followed by 9 Blackwing, 7 Vayu, 6 Machina, 4 Quickdraw, and 3 Gladiator Beasts. And then top 8 had 3 Blackwing, 1 Hero Frog, 1 Christian Sworn, 1 Quickdraw, 1 D.Va Hero, and then obviously one by Irvin with Machina Gadgets. So you can see right here, Irvin won. Don't look at my chat. Irvin won with he won 3 super rare Sirocco's and a BLS trophy. Dude, the one thing I don't like about I shouldn't say don't like. The one thing that I kind of like envy about Modern is they actually get these trophies fairly often for their store championships and stuff. And I think these trophies are just so freaking cool. So yeah, good stuff to Irvin. And we can go through the 21 other decks real quick. So there was 2 Christian Sorn, 2 Frog Monarch, 2 D.Va Hero, 2 Machina Hero, 2 Instant Zombie, Valhalla Fairy, Twilight, Trap Dragons, Norlaris, Macro, Jinzo OTK, 1 Hero Beat, Forgs, Elemental Hero Fusion, Crystal Beast, and Amaryllis. So yeah, that's the meta breakdown. And without further ado, we can get into the top 8 deck list. So starting off, we have Tyler on Blackwings. It's Blackwings. We've seen it for the millionth time. So things to note: there's 4 draw traps. I feel like most people are on 2 to 3. He is playing 2 copies of Deck Dev in the main and side. I feel like a lot of players are dropping down to like 0 or 1 Deck Dev because people are realizing it is kind of hard to effectively use Deck Dev in Blackwing, but it's still like such a broken card. And then yeah, there's a random Book of Moon because Book of Moon covers like a lot of random matchups and like it doesn't get traps done and whatnot. So yeah, pretty standard. Good stuff to Tyler for making top 8. Next, ShamWow on D.Va Hero. So if you guys have ever tuned to the stream, you guys have seen ShamWow commentate the top 8 a good amount. Love this man. He recently moved to Chicago. He's been on D.Va Heroes for a long time. Televisual started the whole Gravekeeper Spy and D.Va Hero trend, and ShamWow has just like taken that idea and like spammed it. So I don't know, this deck is just so freaking sick, and Gravekeeper Spy solves an issue where you don't really have that many starters going first. Like you have Stratos and Greffer. And unless you have like a combo with like Prodigy, Caius or something, like you don't have too many starters, right? So Spy solves that issue. It also gives you more access to synchros with D.Va if you have Spy D.Va, Spy, Caius. So yeah, Spy's just good card. And I don't know, I just think D.Va Hero is so cool. It gets to play, like if you've watched my tier list when I talk about D.Va Hero, dude, it gets to play the best cards. It gets to play Return, it gets to play Mind Control, Miracle Fusion, Future Fusion, Caius, Dark Arm. Like this deck gets to play all the cool cards. So it just sucks that you will have the bricky hands with Malicious and Gilman, but if you're good enough to play through them like Sham is, you're gonna find success. Like this isn't his first top with D.Va Hero. So yeah, good stuff to Sham, and the side deck looks pretty standard. The only thing I'm going to question is just like Oppression. I get you can go like Stardust Oppression pretty easily in this deck and kind of like checkmate them, but at the same time, if you don't do that, this card's just like you can't flip this card because your whole deck special summons. But yeah, awesome stuff to Sham. Glad he got his top. Next, Faisal on Quickdraw. So I think this is Faisal's second top with Quickdraw, and as a Quickdraw player myself, I feel like his list is really, really unconventional. So I was like looking at this earlier and I saw Gale, and like don't get me wrong, Gale's a broken ass card. Like I love this card so much. But like his extra deck to support Gale, he's got a Catastor to make level 5s, Armor Master to make 7s, and then he has Goyo to make 6s. He's not playing Bryonic. Like I feel like you almost have to play Bryonic. I feel like it's gonna come up for sure if you're playing Gale. So I just don't know how you don't play Bryonic in your extra deck. I get it, extra deck is really tight in Quickdraw, but that's like half the reason no one plays Plague or Gale in the first place. So if you are gonna fit a generic tuner, you better fit Bryonic, in my opinion. I'd be shocked if it never came up. Other than that, the things like that stick out are Thunder King to me. Um, like this deck or Thunder King is decent into Blackwings. Like I don't think it's like insane, but it does stop Whirlwind, does stop Blizzard. But obviously, it gets like Blackwings can eat this guy up. But it is decent, and I do think it's like really good into GB. Like they can't randomly Geyseris you, and it is like 1900 beater is really good against GB. Like, but I feel like this should be a side deck card then. Like I don't know, I don't think it's that good. Like Thunder King's definitely not good against like Vayu or Frog. So yeah, I'm questioning the main deck choice, but Thunder King's a sick card. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's good into the current Edison meta. And then he's opting not to main Bottomless. He's playing Raigeki Break. I think it's Raigeki Break or Deep Prison. I'm not sure which one he opts to think is more important. But yeah, he's not maining Bottomless. And I feel like Bottomless is just the best card against Blackwing. And this deck struggles against Blackwing. I feel like you kind of need it. Maybe he's opting to forego Game 1 against Blackwing. But your Game 2 and Game 3 as Quickdraw isn't really that much better. If anything, it's worse. So I feel like you really need to try to get Game 1 off Blackwing. And you need Bottomless. Another thing to know in his side deck, he's playing Twister. He probably has PTSD from Oppression and Blackwing. So Twister's good into Blackwing, right? Hits 4 cards, double Whirlwind, double Oppression. But other than that, it's kind of like I'd probably just play 1. And then this card, Horn of Heaven. So this card's kind of spicy and interesting because so as Quickdraw, when you play against Frogs, for example, most people will side in pulling the rug against Frogs, but as Quickdraw, you're afraid of Vanity's Fiend. So you can't really side pulling the rug because Vanity's Fiend is just as scary as like Caius, and they're probably going to side out Ryza for Vanity's Fiend, so they have less pulling the rug targets. So Horn of Heaven answers both at the expense of a tribute. Like I've never tested the card obviously, so I have no say on how live this card would be against Frogs. But yeah, I mean if you do have a token or like Sangan Dandelion, this card does cook. But also doesn't answer an established field already. So that is annoying. But like one thing when I'm playing Quickdraw against Frogs is I'm really scared to go Drill Warrior games 2 and games 3 against like any deck, honestly, because of Fossil Dino or Vanity's Fiend, right? But if you have Horn of Heaven set, that does answer the problem. But I mean, you could say the same thing about Bottomless. So yeah, I don't know. It is definitely an interesting card though. So this is I don't know if he's burning the kitchen or cooking with this one, but it is cool. So yeah, interesting deck. Next, Corey on Christia Sorn. So this Corey actually just topped the June monthly. Remember, this is the July monthly. He had a Debris Dragon in his deck. I'm not sure what he took it out for. But yeah, I mean, this list looks pretty standard Christia Sorn in the main deck. And in the side deck, I like how he just completely opted to go. He said, F Blackwings, I'm going to concentrate Decree you, or I'm just going to get to play my game. And everything else kind of just seems like a good powerful one of, depending on the deck. Like he's got all these powerful one ofs. Like actually all of these are insane one ofs just to like adjust for his opponent. So I think that's pretty cool because Christia Sorn, if you get to play your game, the deck is pretty insane, right? It is a Lightsworn deck. If it gets to mill and drop your bombs, you're gonna win. So like unless you play something like macro stun, you're probably fine. Like this side deck is probably fine. But yeah, so he's top 2 in a row with Christia Sorn. So either A, he's really, really lucky, or B, he's probably doing something right. It's probably B if you top twice in a row with Christia Sorn. So yeah, good stuff to Corey. Okay, moving on to top 4. HT19 with Dupless Hero Frog. And yes, he had a 14 card side deck. Don't know why. He's probably just a third needle ceiling because I'm pretty sure this list is RJ and Dirk's list card for card, main and side included. We've talked about Dupless Hero Frog before. Make sure Substitute a much worse card at the expense of you being less deck devable and you having a higher floor because you get to play triple upstart, double e-call. So you're gonna see your you're gonna see your Miracle Fusions and heroes more often. Other than that, if you disagree with Dupless, I get it, but at the same time, this deck, like I kind of disagree with it too. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think Dupe is such an insane card. But at the same time, this deck has had so many results recently. I don't feel like you can just write it off and say, this deck's wrong, it's a fluke. Like this deck just keeps topping. So yeah, good stuff to Hector, showing he can play multiple decks proficiently. Next, the Henry 40. So for those who don't know, Henry just topped the last monthly in the June monthly with Blackwing with this exact same main deck. Now he's top. He got second, lost to Kevin in the finals. Now he got top 4 in the July monthly with the exact same main deck, and then he got second at RBT Indy. Remember, this is before RBT Indy. He got second RBT Indy with the exact same 40. So we're memeing him and calling it the Henry 40 because no one else plays a main deck like this. And with these 4 cards being kind of like the outliers, the Trap Stun, Starlight, Oppression, Mind Control, he has powerful one-ups to kind of catch his opponent off guard. I don't know if people will be less caught off guard now that people know him in his list, but you know, he likes it. He doesn't like draw traps, and his side deck's kind of like I know it kind of looks like a random assortment of cards, but they all kind of do make sense, and they cover a large variety of matchups. So yeah, like it's Blackwing at the end of the day, but you know, good stuff to Henry for showing he is a consistent Blackwing player. He knows what he's doing. He's not just Unga Bungaing his way through consistently and just topping all these tournaments by Unga Bungaing. So yeah, good stuff to Henry. Next, Fancy on his mission to top every Chicago monthly with every single deck. He stopped with Vayu. He stopped with Hero Frog. I'm pretty sure maybe he hasn't topped with Pure Blackwing. No, I'm pretty sure he's topped with Pure Blackwing. And now he's topping with Hybrid Wings. So for those who don't know, Hybrid Wings is the goal of the deck is to kind of function like a in between Vayu and Blackwing. That's why it's called Hybrid. Like it tries to use the bombs, Burial, and Return for the Vayu side, and it tries to use the bombs, Black Whirlwind, for the Blackwing side. So it only plays 1 Blizzard, 1 Bora because you're trying to use Black Whirlwind as like a toolbox. So like you try to search these 2 when you need it. You're not focusing on them. You're kind of focusing on like the Vayu side. The problem with the deck though is I feel like it doesn't consistently get the best of both worlds. You kind of like play one deck or the other. It can happen when you get the best of both worlds, and this deck just feels like tier 0, but it just doesn't happen enough in my opinion. But yeah, you get to play all the insane bombs, Deck Dev and Icarus, like proficient. Like yeah, it's a really cool deck. And the side deck, I don't know how he only like he's siding MST. Like the main deck is so tight, so he opted to side MST. Wait, there's a random Raikou in here, huh? I feel like if you're gonna play Raikou, you should probably play like 2 Raikou and a charge. But if you're gonna like, I don't understand the point of playing like 1 random Raikou. You know, that just doesn't like. I'd rather this just be MST. But you know, Fancy's too good, so he probably knows what he's doing. I hope. But yeah, it's Blackwing Hybrid, nothing new. So yeah, good stuff to Fancy. And then first place, Urban on Machina Gadget. So this isn't the Solidarity build that most people are used to seeing. Why is it ordered like this? Oh, okay. It's not the Solidarity build. It's actually like a more stun build. Like he's playing Gale, Breaker, Cyber, Warrior Lady, Fossil Dyna. And this is reminiscent of old school stun decks. For those who don't know, back when like during actual Edison, this was very common. You would see Gale in almost every stun deck. People like really like Gale as a 2600 beater, you know, out Stardust. Stardust was very common back in the day. And like gives you some synchro access with Breaker being, you know, a good stun card, obviously. But Breaker and Gale make Arcanine Magician, so that's a really good combo. And then he gets to play these random one-ofs. Like I did see him catch a few players off guard with this random Fossil Down in game 1. Like I heard it throughout the day. Like, dude, he summoned Fossil Down in game 1. So and maybe with Hero Frog being the most prevalent deck, you know, this card probably got in there a few times. And then looking at his side deck, you know, he has a few more stun cards, rounding out the monsters with just, you know, good generic stun cards. And his side deck, the rest of the side deck is like a bunch of good generic one-offs to kind of a little bit of like a catch-all against every deck, because his deck is already built to like be like kind of like anti-meta, right? So I guess he doesn't really need too much more in his side deck. He kind of just wants to have a little bit of everything for any matchup he plays. So yeah, good stuff to Irvin. Taking home with, you know, a very unique deck. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about this type of list versus Solidarity Gadget. Like, is this better, or should Machina Gadget just play Solidarity and try to hope to draw, you know, like your 3 Solidarities, or kind of be like a more like, if you don't draw, the problem with Machina Gadget, I can't talk. Problem with Machina Gadget is if you don't draw Solidarity, in my opinion, the deck is very lackluster. But if you do draw it, obviously that's where the deck shines. And this deck kind of just tries to be more consistent across the board and have more varied normal summons. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll be uploading the August deck list soon. So thanks for watching. Peace.